Hey guys, it's Owen from Wrestling Inc. back with another wrestling news roundup. Without any further ado, let's get into today's biggest stories in the world of professional wrestling. The latest on the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. The WWE Women's Tag Team Championship has vanished from WWE programming, and as far as anyone backstage knows, there are no plans for that to change anytime soon. Fightful Select is reporting that WWE's women's roster hasn't heard anything about the previously announced tournament for the vacant tag titles, and that none of their sources have heard anything in regards to discussion of plans for the women's tag division as a whole. The Women's Tag Team Championships have been vacant since May 20th when WWE stripped the belts from the former champions Sasha Banks and Naomi during an episode of SmackDown. The removal of Banks and Naomi came after they walked out on the company the previous Monday on Raw, reportedly dropping their tag title belts on John Laurinaitis' desk. While it remains unclear whether the act took place before or after Raw had begun, WWE continued to advertise the two women leading up to the show. The Fightful report also notes that the women's tag division is decidedly bare at the moment, with Natalya coming off a singles feud with Ronda Rousey, though it should be mentioned that WWE's only remaining established tag team, Nikki ASH and Doudrop, wrestled this past Monday against the team of Asuka and Alexa Bliss, who may or may not be forming a regular partnership. Immediately after vacating the titles, WWE announced a tournament to crown new champions, but hasn't brought it up again since. Banks and Naomi now are rumored to have exited WWE, with Naomi sliding into the Twitter replies of former WWE superstar Lindsay Dorado, WWE's business partner NBC Universal removing Sasha Banks' profile picture options from the Peacock streaming service, and PW Insider reporting that both women have been removed from the internal WWE roster, and suggesting that Banks, at least, could be signing outside of WWE as early as this autumn. Neither Banks nor Naomi have any reference to WWE left in their social media bios. Major heel turn on WWE NXT as current champions split up. In a shocking turn of events, Cora Jade turned on her tag team partner Roxanne Perez during the closing moments of the NXT 2.0 episode held on July 12. The turn happened exactly a week after Jade and Perez captured the WWE NXT Women's Tag Team Championships with a victory over Gigi Dolan and JC Jane at NXT The Great American Bash's special episode. Earlier in the night, Perez was attacked in the parking lot on her way to the building ahead of her NXT Women's Championship bout against champion Mandy Rose. It was presumed that Rose's toxic attraction perpetrated the attack. Prior to the main event title match, Rose addressed the crowd and said Perez wasn't woman enough to power through an injury and compete. This led to Jade stepping out and asking Rose to shut the hell up. Quote, "Your night isn't over yet," because they were promised an NXT Women's Championship match, and that's exactly what they're going to get. "If Roxanne can't go, I'll step in and take that Women's Championship from you," Jade told Rose. Just then, a hobbled Perez showed up and entered the ring for her title match, even as Jade appeared to console her partner to let her wrestle Rose instead. Despite her injury, Perez appeared to be closing in on victory when she hit Rose with her signature pop rocks until she was blindsided by Jade attacking her with a title bout. Rose capitalized on Jade's assistance to score the pinfall victory. After the match, Jade jumped into the ring and yelled that she was the one who attacked Perez earlier on in the night. It would be interesting to see if Jade and Perez are stripped of their women's tag team titles due to their split. WWE has yet to provide an update as to the future of the Women's Tag Team Championships. Did WWE Raw ratings bounce back after the 4th of July? WWE Raw is back up in the ratings after feeding the fireworks from the 4th of July. WrestleNomics released the numbers for the July 11 episode of Raw, and the program garnered an average audience of 1.735 million viewers, an 11% increase from the prior week. The July 4th episode had an average viewership of 1.563 million, which was the show's lowest since May 30. The key demographic number is also back up following Independence Day. In the 18 to 49 demo, Raw had an average audience of 578,000, giving the program a 0.5 7.44 18-49 rating for Monday night. This is up 19% from July 4, which saw the demographic rating plummet 37%. The number put Raw at a record low since December 2021. Ranking-wise, Raw came in at number 1 in the 18-49 for cable originals and number 2 in broadcast primetime, only falling behind The Bachelor. Looking at the annual comparison for Raw, the year-to-year number is over 9% for average viewership. Io Shirai seemingly reacts to WWE exit reports. Recent reports have seemed to indicate that NXT star Io Shirai is on her way out of WWE, but Shirai seems to have refuted those reports after a post yesterday on social media. Shirai took to Twitter to simply state, quote, "Rumours," alongside a throwing up emoji. It has been claimed that Shirai's contract with the company is set to expire at some point in August, setting her up for free agency, before additional reporting suggested that Shirai had told people in Japan she was hoping to return home with the goal of being closer to her family. That theory, however, now seems to be up in the air. Shirai originally joined WWE back in 2018 after some difficulties getting signed the year prior due to health complications, but since then she has not looked back. Shirai is a former NXT Women's Champion, which she held onto for 304 days. She is also a former NXT Women's Tag Team Champion, a goal she accomplished alongside Zoe Stark, with the duo putting together a 111-day reign. Shirai has not been seen since WrestleMania 38 weekend, when she competed in a fatal four-way match against Mandy Rose, Cora Jade and Kaylee Ray, now known as Alba Fire, at NXT Stand and Deliver. Shirai suffered a lower leg injury during that contest and was spotted with a protective boot on in public, which explains her prolonged absence from the ring. Shirai was reportedly close to being healthy enough to make a return, so if she is staying in WWE, it might not be too long until she gets back inside the squared circle. Details regarding upcoming AEW pay-per-view will be revealed on Dynamite. It's going to be a busy next couple of months for AEW in terms of big shows. The promotion is running 2 weeks of Fyter Fest events in the state of Georgia, starting tonight with AEW Dynamite, has a special Quake by the Lake event coming up in August in Minnesota, and will be returning to Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens, New York this September for the second installment of AEW Grand Slam. In between all of that though is AEW All Out, the promotion's next pay-per-view event, which will take place on September 4 but still has no announced location. That will change tomorrow, however, as revealed by AEW announcer Tony Schiavone on yesterday morning's edition of AEW Control Center. Quote, "Fans, get ready for a big announcement of the next AEW pay-per-view event," Schiavone said. That announcement and how you can get tickets will be unveiled on AEW Dynamite on Fyter Fest, live on TBS as well. AEW All Out has traditionally taken place over Labor Day weekend at the Now Arena in Chicago, Illinois, though the show emulated out of Daly's place in Jacksonville, Florida in 2020 due to the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. In May, AEW President Tony Khan said it makes a lot of sense to keep AEW All Out in Chicago, hinting the event would take place there again. A banner for All Out could be seen in the United Center during the AEW New Japan Pro Wrestling Crossover Forbidden Door pay-per-view, and has been featured in other arenas since AEW has run that event. It should be noted that AEW Dynamite and AEW Rampage will take from Buffalo, New York on September 7, just days after All Out is scheduled to take place. No location has been announced yet for the August 31 tapings of Dynamite or Rampage. Buffalo is in close proximity of Toronto, Ontario, Canada, a location some fans have speculated on as a possible location for All Out. In recent months, Khan has also talked about his desire for AEW to tour Canada, where they have yet to run a show. So what are your thoughts on today's Wrestling News Roundup? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Be sure to like and subscribe to Wrestling Inc. and I'll speak to you again very, very soon.